want your posing trunks just a little higher on your hips. Like, you know, where you've got that like harsh V-line detail, you know, as your your hips come in here. I wanted to sit on like pretty much that line. So like pull up. Yeah, pretty much where you got them there. That's perfect. That's good. Yeah, I like that.
I was a little bit like skeptical about getting a release form, right? In case.
No, it's perfect.
But to be honest, yeah, the fit felt pretty nice.
All right, front relaxed. Yeah, lovely. Beautiful. Quarter turn. Yeah, get on that glute tension straight away. Good. Rotates. Nice. 4, 3, 2, 1. Face back. Okay. Go back to the quarter turn. Same quarter turn, just go back to it.
This one.
Yep. So I want you, when you rotate, like, I don't want any moment where I'm looking at your glutes and then they're like relaxed.
Yeah.
I want your rotation between this pose to that back pose to be pretty much seamless to the point where you rotate and you're immediately into glute tension, into the relaxed. Because I don't want an opportunity for a quick judge to be looking at a lineup, float on the rear relaxed and be like, striated glutes, not striated glutes.
Yeah.
You've got that detail you need to show straight away. That's the only thing.
But yeah, we must. We're working on both terms.
Yeah.
We haven't really worked into fitness yet.
Of course. The posing's great. The posing's amazing. It's just the finer little things that we don't want to miss out on. Okay, face back. So it's like foot pressure. Yeah. Much better. You could do it. It's just a little cue. Yeah. Epic. Quarter. Beautiful. Face front. Front double. Lovely. Elbows maybe a tiny little higher. Just a little bit. Yeah, nice. Front leg spread. Chest up just a little. Yes. Expand the ribcage just a little bit. That's nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Side chest. Set. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Side tricep. Set it with composure. Try to avoid the shake as much as you can. That's good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Back double. Yeah. Grip the floor. Nice. Back. Lovely. That was fucking mega. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Relax spread. Fullness through. Oh, that's sick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Face front. Abs thigh. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Most muscular. Hard on the legs. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Yeah, hands on hip as well. Looks mega. I like that. I actually have a preference of that, to be honest. I'd say hit the hands on hip straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my preference, definitely.
Not this. Put me this long into these seconds. Yeah, I didn't even know I could do that without winning.
Yeah.
Because usually, at least with more like that, I'm with.
Yeah.
Through the move from out.
Yeah. All the nose.
Yeah. The other was out, I'm really hard on to breathe.
Yeah.
But I like to warm up my flag in 15 seconds.
Yeah. And if you need to belly breathe, just breathe in the back shots. Like, do your deep belly breaths in the back shots because no one's seeing your stomach. But every other shot, like mostly mouth breaths between poses is good. Sorry, nose breaths between poses. You get more oxygen in as well.
Yeah.
And also where the air goes, like if you're breathing through your nose, it's mostly like into sort of the head, into the sternum. Whereas belly breaths is like all into that stomach. Mouth breath, belly breath.
That is what I think my biggest area of problem is for hours as I make the transition from novice to open. It's like, I want to do this, like, look at me, and like, he's been fucking in it forever.
100%.
Like, that's what.
And if you need to do 10 rounds to win an overall or whatever, you need to be able to do 10 rounds to win the overall. Without your tan running, without you gassing out, without you even looking like you're tired. That's the important thing, is that when the judges see you looking like you want to get off stage in a competitive lineup in an overall, like you're like wanting it to be over, that is a sign of weakness in competition. So you need to be ready to be like, let's say the judge says, are you ready for another round? You'd be like, yep, throw it at me. Whereas like left and right of you will be fucking sweating buckets.
Yeah.
And like, I literally remember in the Hard of English, like looking left, guys, tan's gone. I was like, ha.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
no problems.
Finals in 23 October, we were 15 meters out on stage.
Yeah.
And we were so out of something on the face. Like, they kept us posing for so long.
Yeah.
It was so different from all the previous 3-4 shows I've done before.
Yeah.
And I was sweating. And I came like 5th in the UK, but I was like, if my posing was better,
yeah,
like, it could be a higher risk.
100%, mate.
Even though, like, air conditioning was, but yeah.
It makes a big difference, but we're not going to have that problem. Like, the thing is, you could be posing for 5 minutes. You know, you could do 1 round, game over, job done. Yeah. Or you could do 6 rounds, you know, so, and it's really hot. Ben Hall lighting is like really fucking hot. Good. Face back. Do the glutes up close whilst you're there. Yeah, time out. There you go. So, nice. That's good. Beautiful. Quarter. Super. Face front. Front up. Good. Front up. Side chest. Super. Side chest. Sorry. Yeah. Beautiful. Back up. Your last breath. Perfect. Outside. And result. That's okay. Yeah. Super. Alright. Positioning wise, very happy.
Yeah.
Superb. If anything, I think like uppers almost there. A little bit of crispness.
Yeah.
A little bit of graininess. Hamstrings and glutes are closer than I thought they were. In person, they look leaner.
Yeah.
But quads have a bit more to go than I thought in pictures. Quads need a bit more.
Yeah.
I thought the quads were a little bit further ahead. This is good. Like, this is
the last part for me to come is the quads.
I think the thing is, it's like in a picture, when you're on them, they look like ahead of schedule, like more than enough ready.
Shadows.
Yeah, exactly. But in person, when you're like on and off them, it's like we need them so peeled that like you can be almost off them and then still look dug out peeled. So there's more to go there, but it's not behind. It's just on track.
Yeah.
Everything is on track. You just need to make sure that we can just get them like.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've never seen like squat striation.
Sure.
I don't even know if I maybe get your ag for it.
Some of it is muscle fiber makeup. Yeah. Some of it is that. But I think looking at your if you flexed out hard like that quad, like there's a good enough amount of muscularity there. I just think we just need to just chip it away. But the thing is, what you don't want to do is push so hard for like that extra bit of detail that then you lose the rounds, the performance, the sweep. But I actually think, to be honest with you, like the more you lose, like especially you haven't actually got that much around the knee, but like the more you lose like up here, like your quads will actually just kind of look bigger. They'll look bigger as they separate more. But the skin is actually really quite thin on the legs. It's like there's not like pinching fat on you or anything.
Because I was thinking, do you think it makes sense to maybe start using an elevation and just bring maybe the hack squat down a notch in terms of like load and just get that extra degree of like elevation and go some squat shoes? Because quite tall, I've seen some of your clients are using them. I know you use them as well. I have them. I just use bare foot all the time.
I think the thing is, mate, you're better off just doing what you've done so far to get to the current level of strength and output. That if we're thinking about changing the modality of an exercise, probably best to do that in off season where we can actually build new tissue. To protect it, the last thing you want to do, because I did this a few times in prep, I was convinced that I needed to change the setup or something, or wear a squat sheet. I'd go in and do my warm-ups and I'd be like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it just feels wrong.
Because you just need to just stay doing the same thing. Repetition is the answer. It's a bit boring, but it's the key.
Yeah, I get it, but for me it's not. I think maybe a few years ago, going to all the same things, but I feel like you've educated me to just stick to the one training protocol. I think a lot of people go through coaches, they're like, oh, let's see what workout he gives me, let's see what fancy shit he tells me to do, but the stuff you've given me just works. And if I'm in a different gym, I might just change a real delts from my calf to Nautilus, but it doesn't change. I'm still doing 3 sets of real delts at 8 to 12 So I've just been doing the same things over and over and over and over since fucking January last year. It just feels normal. I go almost like I'm cheating on my training. I'm over there. So it makes sense. It makes sense. It's just there's some irrational fears that are coming in. Because obviously I know by the time I get to leg conditioning, my upper body's going to change. But you put me on that high day always changes my perspective of what I look like. Because I look at myself on a Saturday, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I look at myself on Monday to Thursday, and I'm like, I look tiny. I look like a fucking spaghetti. But
it's the deprivation, it's the deficit as well of doing that. It's nourishment. Yes, of course, flatness, glycogen shift is going to play a role, but it's like the way that food affects the brain. So your perception through Monday till Friday will just get gradually worse. Your physique is just more tired. So you have less energy to perceive things as positive or negative. It's easy to just, when you're tired, it's like, I don't look good. So that's why high days are a lot of people will reference studies or say, okay, we don't need that, glycogen bump, it's better just to run linear calories higher. But it's not physical, it's often psychological, the impact. It really is.
It's so true, and it's also like a day you look forward to. It's kind of almost like a relief
for it.
Yeah,
you want to work hard for it, to almost earn it.
Yeah, it's so good. I started doing it with some of my clients as well.
Good man.
Because it's, with the clients that are ready for it, I'm like, look, this is like a perfect strategy for, and it's good. I started, obviously, having a little bit of pink salt to my pre-workout meal, so I get such a good pump. And then it's one of the prep, even though I train legs on a Friday, I can still see a good degree of definition of legs.
Of course.
So yeah, it changes completely. But I see the difference even in, say, if I train in the morning with one meal, and I train like in the afternoon after 2 or 3 meals, like I look different.
Yeah.
So
would you say that you just feel fuller and harder? Or would you say that like later in the day you feel just fuller and a little bit softer?
I'm going to come back to you on this because when it's in the afternoon, I'm posing rounds after post workout.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking harder.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I have a dumbbell. I think what I need to start doing is, say maybe on Thursday is my day off, I take my morning pose around. Maybe I start taking my afternoon pose around and see what I look like after a couple of meals. So I would say yes to answer the question. But I'm gonna come back to you because like next week I'm gonna do it on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday, and like maybe I'll send you the rounds in the morning. I'll send you one, and then you can tell me.
The later we get along the process as well, the more we'll be doing that because it just helps me to understand your body over the course of the day. The leaner you get, the less of that curve will happen. So you'll just have less space to store fluid.
Yeah.
So over the course of the day, there only so much space to store fluid in sites that have more body fat. So the sites that have more body fat will look probably a bit softer later in the day. So for example, you'll wake up, the quads will look hard, dry. You know.
Yeah.
Later in the day, your fat's front. Later in the day, they'll be maybe a bit bigger with glycogen in, there will be some movement. But they'll be less detailed.
How much time have you got? Go on, mate. If you have to.
No, I'm not.
I know you self-coached yourself that previous program.
Self-coach?
Yeah, you did.
Self-coach since 2014.
Yeah, so I know I follow that prep. But what would you say like it has been maybe like a mistake that you made?
Everything. Everything. Yeah, man. Like, okay, so between I'm nuts. Like, so the Heart of England was fantastic.
Yeah.
I got told by Christian that he'd seen me sharper. So I in between that Heart of England and like all the other shows, I was doing far, like I'm telling you now, far too much. I don't know how I ended up still looking semi-decent.
Yeah.
I'm talking before the NPC shows. The whole like final weeks, I was doing double day cardio, 15k steps, so 45 a.m., 45 p.m., and my food was 50 grams of oats pre-workout, and the rest was just carbs.
Yeah, that's probably why you told me you spotted that behavior from like the start, because I started out, he's doing that 30 minutes of cardio, and I just felt like, well, I trust the process, but I also kind of like, in the back of my mind, I think it's not enough. So I'm kind of like, I was like, oh, maybe some low intensity here and there. And like, obviously I started seeing less performance, less quality sleep, and less of that. And I'm just glad we stopped that from the roots.
Yeah. Like, I know how to prep myself really well, and I did such a good job for that first show, but when I see like stage photos and I like get a feedback that someone thought I should have been or could have been harder, like to me that was just poison, you know, that literally went rent-free in my head for far too long, and Loz had to try and pull me out of that spot where I was just digging away at tissue. And don't get me wrong, like I got legit the most fat-free I've ever gotten in my life, absolutely, but the cost of a lot of size, you know, I was like 7 pounds down on Heart of England by the time I last competed at the last show I did. And that 7 pound like didn't need to come off. Probably 2 pounds needed to come off. But just very gradually, because that's the exposure, is like the exposure to that high intense deficit at the back end of the prep is like, that's the exact place you don't want to do that. You know, you want to be, the final little bits of detail come off with the very, very gradual, small, little, tiny adjustments.
What do you think you coach your clients a little bit different than you have coached yourself? Because you wouldn't program that for clients.
No, because I'm just in my own head, you know, and I'm always of the opinion is that if I can try something, if I can be a test dummy on myself, I can at least know, okay, like this is the limit, this is the rate limiter. So if I'm asking a client to do a lot, right, to get, like let's say they have not in the position you're in, they say they have to really push to get into shape. I can give them something that looks nasty, and I'm like, it's doable. You can still train, you can still operate a business.
Because I've done it.
Exactly. So yeah, like, but honestly, like up until the Heart of England, it was perfect. I was doing a little bit of cardio, maybe I think it was 30 minutes max on a rest day. I was doing high days every 6 or 7 days, 2 days in a row, around a week body mass. Starting a good amount of food, presented a really good look.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that the other looks were bad, they were just not as good as they should have been. So, yeah, I'm 100% getting a coach for my next pro. 100%.
Yeah, mate,
it's time for me to handle.
Obviously, I saw you at that level, but as a coach, and I said that interview earlier, I was like, well, the good thing is I don't have to like think about the shit I'm doing, because I just follow instructions.
Yeah.
And
I need that much.
that pressure is just so much, it's just, you don't have to think.
Yeah.
And like, and at the end of the process, it could be, you know, well, you can blame the coach, you can blame yourself, you don't blame anyone, you're just like, I just did my best with the what I was given, and that decision fatigue, you just like use that energy for something else. You can coach your client better with more energy, do whatever better, and don't have to like constantly be so like, because I've been like so afraid of my photos. And then you send me feedback, dude, you're fine, you're good. Like, you know, we are a little bit ahead of the schedule. I'm like, well, AJ tells me we are a little bit ahead of the schedule. The fuck do I know more than him to talk me about it? I'm like, I'm just not gonna think about this and just worry about something else. I just think that is like just the magic of having a coach and somebody just tells you like what to do. You just need to like find the right person.
The best athletes are the ones that can just remain super calm. You know, super chill, get the feedback, crack on the next week, not overanalyze, not overthink. It's very hard to do, but it presents the best athletes on stage. It really does. Like the ones that have always done the best with me are the ones that almost like they don't realize that they're even competing on show day. They're just so chilled.
Yeah.
So damn relaxed.
That's how I want to be. I saw your video, you were just like, that you get the VR to England, and you just told me you had conscious demons on, and then you said how this is what experience does. When you've been here before, like, you just know, you don't feel that surge of excitement that naturally makes you excited, nervous, changes your physique. So I'm like, I just want to be there as I've fucking done that for ages. And I don't even want to feel the excitement. I don't even know how I'm going to do that. I'm telling you this now, but I'm going to be excited. I'm going to listen to the music in the microphone speaker. Like, it's just that I love bodybuilding shows. I don't know how to not feel excited, but I'm going to try.
Just be zen, like that's the thing. Like you don't have to not be excited, but I think just being a bit like, just level is the key, because like. The thing that hurts people is when the heavy fluctuations happen. So let's say, for example, you know, you've put in a certain amount of food that we know from data has you looking a certain way and like full, and then you go ahead and you're burning through a shit ton of excited and you're running around saying hi to people, and you know, a lot of the time bodybuilding show ends up being a social event as well.
Yeah.
So that's what it could have easily been for me. On that day,
yeah, fucking everyone wants a piece
to chat to me.
Yeah.
You know, and it becomes an opportunity for me to either spread myself very thin or be decisive and just be like, right, today's about me. Let's remove myself. So I booked an Airbnb that was like a 5-minute walk away. So we just went back, sat there for as long as I could until I was like close to coming on, and then walked up. And then just sat down, did my bits, got ready, got on stage. Because then you just not have the distraction and the energy that can be taken off you. It's like energy that's been taken off you in your days, you know, like you have like more chat to you in the gym or things like that. It's like energy that could be.
Oh mate, same. I travel 30 minutes away from doing gyms because I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
It's
your energy, it's important.
Yeah. I totally get it. Mate, super lastly. I know you probably will choose a coach, but my view on just getting a coach is maybe like Ken Haynes to say, yeah, it's been natural, it's completely natural, but like, I find you are so rare because you're obviously very good at what you do, but you also are still natural and progress naturally and keep pushing boundaries naturally. You know how fucking it is.
Yeah.
And so many people who, you know, opt in gear, you know, arguably sooner or later, whatever, but do they still remember what it's like? And most of them come from a school of like just do more, do more, do more. Whereas like we know now that it's not just about doing more, it's do better.
Yeah.
So I just wonder like who you are going to maybe like trust for this.
Yeah. Honestly, it's still a thought process, mate. It's still a constant ongoing thought process. I don't think I've fixed it in my head. The difficulty with me is that I need someone that's not a friend. I'm friends with so many great coaches. I can't be coached by a close friend because that I don't want to ruin that friendship with essentially a transactional thing that needs to be for my physique goals. And I also just know so many people like psychologically.
Yeah.
So I want to almost not know what they're thinking. So I don't want to predict what they're going to do with me. I want to just be told, off you go ahead.
Yeah.
So I don't know, mate. I've definitely got my ideas, and I think it will eventually be someone that I do know, just not that I'm super close with.
Yeah.
And you know, I have my ideas of using someone like Cliff or someone like Berto. And I love them and I respect them a lot. I'd love to potentially go for a prep with them, but I think the limitation there is I need someone that can get eyes on me in person.
Yeah, in person.
It's a game changer. It really is.
Yeah. My physique in photo, my physique like in person, aside from seeing maybe the conditioning photo, are you quite good at doing that? Like you see a photo, you can kind of imagine like what he looks in person, or did you like maybe look at me and think he's actually a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, or is actually a little bit smaller than I thought it would be?
For now, the reference points become easier. So like now I've seen you live in person, I can be like, okay, this is what it should look like in a photo. You look bigger and harder in person, 100%, especially from the back. Your back double bicep is a crazy good shot, like lower lats, erector details. You can't see that in the picture. When you move, there's an element of a 3D-ness to your physique that doesn't show on a picture or even the video. Which you need to win shows now. You need to be like complete side to side, front to back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a more impressive thing in person right now, but it's going to be mighty more impressive in like 8 weeks time.
My confidence been boosted for the day. I can go tomorrow. That's all I needed to hear. Mate, it's been fucking awesome, man, because obviously we don't really get a chance to in person. There was something else I wanted to ask people about. Yeah, I'm not having a cake tomorrow or anything, don't worry. I'm just gonna bake a banana bread. I'm just gonna make it like things from micros. If it was your birthday, what would you do? At 11 weeks out.
I think that's when I had my birthday. My birthday's 27th of April.
Oh yeah?
So I had my birthday, what was that? Fuck, I think that was quite close, like maybe 6
It was
weeks out.
really close.
I was on a high. I remember it was on.
It's 4 weeks out for me.
Yeah, I was on a high then. But Loz just gave me some presents and I just had a normal day. But yeah, if I could bake and I could bake something within the macros, then that's a really good option.
Yeah, sure. That's what I'm going to do. It's just mostly for
how old are you?
putting a candle. 32 tomorrow.
32.
Yeah.
I'm 30 and
yeah, I know you're a little bit younger than me, but yeah, I still fucking look up to you. And as you're saying these things, you just imagine. Like we look at you, like our age is great, like Trent's great, obviously he's got like a lot of nice, very successful guy, but like I think no one really like stops and think what it's like to be you. Like what you said about the show, I can't actually leave show there like everyone else because everyone wants to talk to me, you know, there's a degree of like pressure that comes, I guess when everyone wants to bring their best results on stage, but you kind of have maybe something else to demonstrate, like I am, you know, national building in the UK, so people can't think of me as like, you could have known more, you know, maybe all these things are probably just in your head.
Yeah.
You know, to people, you're just looking amazing, you know, people give you shit, they're like, oh, it's fucking AJ, oh my god. Like, but only you know what it's like to be you, so, you know, I admire you, but I don't respect, like, I don't want to be you. Do you know what I mean? I like to be a little bit more unknown about it. Mate, I'm just so glad we got to work together. I think it was a sign, you know, because, like, you were there for my shows way more than key people. No, I'm not psyching him off for sure. He was just very, very, very different prep. And
yeah, he's a different guy, he's got different goals, you know, I think. Not to take anything away from his coaching, but he's he's so focused on his own gig, you know. And rightly so, you know. Like there's some things that I think, you know, if you're that level of athlete, you've got to be wired a certain way to go all in on just you know. I think the way that I'm wired is more towards like the first thing that I think about in the morning, the last thing that I think about when I go to bed at night at the moment, and for the last probably 8 years has been my athletes, honestly. And like as much as I might pay laws to hear that, that's the way it is. I don't think about myself. I think about myself when I go to the gym for the 2 hours that I go to the gym. That's the only time. And even then, in like peak show season, I have to be honest. And I like now I take a break, but in peak show season, man, I have to be honest all day, because otherwise there could be a problem. You know, if someone's got a problem, they're 3 days out, I need to be right back on that message. But that's also allowed me to get to the point I am now as a coach, where I'm, you know, respected by people like you who come to me for a reason. They want to achieve at high levels, and I've got now the roster that I can only dream of. 5, 6 years ago, and I said I want to work, I want to work with pros, I want to work with people who want to become pro. And now I do. Now I have like a lot of pros.
Crazy pros. People are like, you know,
it's nuts. The moment, man, it's crazy.
Who?
The roster is just nuts.
I
can't get over it.
Some people were like, oh, should I contact you for coaching? I'm like, of course. Well, good luck with that. I was just like, good luck if he's good fit and whatever. I'm like, because it's funny, people look at me, I was like, oh, he looks great, surely I should work with this coach. She's like, yes, but like, work with him, but like, really,
it doesn't mean.
Before you think you sign in the off season, AJ's not the guy you contact at 20 weeks out. Like, he's not, so I don't want to send you people, not that you need it, but like, I understand that he's not just any coach. That's why I say to people. I love that. And that is like the mentality I want to have, because you know I would have competed like last year, and then you told me not to. Like you're not ready. I'm just so fucking glad we did it, dude. I'm just so glad, because like the improvement in his like off season were like so crazy. That back shot, you say, oh, your back shot looks crazy. Dude, I hated my back shot. So I'm ashamed. I've never shared a back shot of my shows ever, because I
will do after this.
Huh?
You will do after this.
I feel like I didn't know how to flare properly or pose properly, but also that my back just wasn't moving. So I thought ever since 23, I was so much on my back. Real delts, lower lats, deep beats, I like so much. And like you telling me your back looks like it's one of your best shots, just makes me understand it's 3 years of just like spent like properly, you know. So yeah, man. Thank you so much for making the time to tune in afterwards.